Hi. Hi, Noah.
Alicia, good morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm really excited to be speaking with you this morning about Summer Under the Stars is returning to TCM. I'm very excited, but before we get into that, you actually grew up watching classic movies as a kid. That is something that you watched all day, every day. What did your parents think you growing up as a kid, sitting in front of the TV watching a bunch of classic films?
I don't
Because I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I don't think they quite understood me. And for a while there, I thought something was wrong with me because I didn't want to go out to the parties. I didn't want to hang with any boys when I was a teenager. I just wanted to stay at home and watch movies. And I would go down to the local video store. I would hire 7 films for 7 days for $7, most of them classic films, and come back home and just be like, yay, that's my weekend. And my parents were like, you should maybe go outside, or don't you want to like hang with your friends? But I was always that kind of really nerdy girl who just wanted to watch movies and talk about movies. So I think now they think, okay, well, all of that time watching television was worthwhile because now I have a great career to show for it.
Yeah, that's right, Alicia. You know what? I don't think anything's wrong with that. I think it's a great thing that you've done because, like you said, it is turned into a career for you. And I mean, hey, who doesn't love classic movies? You know what? I love the Christmas classic movies. That's what I love. I love when they show that on TV every year. Those are like the best. But I could watch a classic movie anytime, really. So TCM is going to show 24 hours of movies with 31 different stars throughout the entire month of August. So what are fans in for with this special celebration of Summer Under the Stars returning to the TCM network?
Yeah, and it's 31 really interesting stars. You know, I always love to see the range of programming that our programming team puts together. You know, this team, they know so much about films, and they always choose first-timers. So we've got 12 different first-timers coming to Summer Under the Stars. We're having a whole day of programming dedicated to them. So alongside people like Humphrey Bogart and Audrey Hepburn and Jimmy Stewart, you'll also get to see some great character actors like Liv Ullmann, who was a wonderful European actress who worked with Ingmar Bergman, and she came over to Hollywood as well. Paul Lucas, who was a Hungarian actor who made a splash with Bette Davis in a film called Watch on the Rhine. And also Brian Donlevy, who was this wonderful gangster type character who often played these hitman characters, and he was quite terrifying in movies. So even if you think, oh yeah, I've seen a lot of Humphrey Bogart films, you know, we go deeper into the filmography of every one of these stars, and us hosts, we give context about each of the movies. So you do get to learn a lot about the film career of these stars while you're watching the movies.
Wow. Well, Alicia, I know that would be right up your alley if you were a young kid watching.
Yes, I wish I had this when I was young.
I know, right? TCM's the best. Yeah, that's right. You did mention Audrey Hepburn. So on August 18th, fans will get to see, you know, a bunch of classic films from her. I love her. She is such a class act. So what really attracts you to Audrey? What do you love most about her? Because I adore her.
Yeah, she is, and for good reason. The thing that I love about Audrey Hepburn is hearing about her off camera as well as on camera. You know, on camera she was so glamorous. She was such a great actress as well.
Yeah.
Gave us these wonderful roles in films like Sabrina and My Fair Lady, of course Breakfast at Tiffany's, and a great film I love called The Children's Hour with Shirley MacLaine. But all the accounts of her off screen is that she was just as elegant and beautiful and kind as she was on screen. Of course, she did a lot of charity work in her later years, but all of the reports from her co-stars just say that she was such a wonderfully kind person. I loved reading about her and Shirley MacLaine because Audrey was worried about having to go up against such a powerful actress as Shirley MacLaine. Shirley MacLaine was worried about not feeling glamorous enough next to Audrey Hepburn. So they made each other a promise. So Audrey said, I will teach you about clothes if you teach me how to curse like you do.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's touch on Dustin Hoffman for a moment. So fans are going to get to see some of Dustin's classic films towards the end of this month on the TCM network, part of the Summer Under the Stars lineup. So tell me, Alicia, how did Dustin get his start in Hollywood, and what was a film that really made his career take off?
Yeah, he's a really interesting actor to look at because he is kind of defined the change from old Hollywood to new Hollywood. When he was in acting school, he became best friends with Gene Hackman, and both of them thought, well, we're not like these pretty boy actors who want to be the next Rock Hudson or Gary Cooper. We really want to be these character actors. So they seemed destined to a life of supporting roles. But then when Hollywood changed, and one of the big films that changed Hollywood was The Graduate, which starred Dustin Hoffman. I mean, the films got darker and grittier and spoke to modern audiences about issues like alienation, and he was an actor who was able to transform himself with every role, still has a great career, but he was great right there at the time when Hollywood changed, and a great symbol of that time, and then went on, of course, to do wonderful roles like Midnight Cowboy, you know, I'm Walking Here, Tootsie, where he dressed up as a woman, as an actor playing a woman to get more roles, and Marathon Man, where he's like this guy on the run in a paranoid thriller. He continues to do wonderful roles to this day, but he really was that changing guard in Hollywood.
I love him. I love his work. My last question for you, Alicia, is, you know, Summer Under the Stars is upon us, is happening, you know, on TCM. What do you enjoy the most about this particular celebration that TCM puts on every year?
Yeah, for me, it's such a pleasure to get to delve into the filmography deeper because, you know, I'm someone who has seen a lot of films, you know, ever since I was a young kid. But even I get to discover films that I've never seen before. And also being a host, get to dive into the research. I write my own scripts, so I really delve into the lives of these actors and being able to give more context to the film and being able to talk about their careers and hopefully pass on some interesting stories that people will tell their friends and inspire a whole new generation of people to watch classic films. You know, that's what I love.
You are terrific. I just adore you, Alicia Malone. Thank you so much for joining me this morning to speak about Summer Under the Stars. You can catch it on TCM today. And if you'd like to know more information about all the films that are going to be playing on TCM, visit TCM.com. Thank you, Alicia. It was a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you so much. So fun to talk to you. Bye.